Thank you, Mr. Pathak. May I now invite Mr. Vinaybabu Adimulam, National Head Business Development, Hexagon India. With over 25 years of experience in the geospatial industry, Vinay sir possesses in-depth know-how of GIS, remote sensing, and photogrammetry. He is involved in establishing labs and commissioning prestigious projects across various organizations. Over to you, sir.
Very good afternoon. In fact, it's very good evening to everyone. All ladies and gentlemen connected online as well as offline. We clearly now understand that every state in the country is going through the geospatial transformation, right? So from Hexagon, I would like to take you through the story of how we are shaping the autonomous connected ecosystem. And this is, the answer to this is very clearly that we are doing it through the smart digital reality. And what is smart digital reality is something that we'll go through. We are clearly a global leader in sensors, softwares, and autonomous technologies when it comes to driverless cars, use of unmanned vehicles, without human beings. So that's what we're doing. And that's how we are empowering the autonomous future. What is autonomous and how is it different from automation? Automation is where you're bringing processes, but autonomous is how the technologies and the data can drive the technology to make sure that we move forward. Clearly, let me take you one step back and to understand what is, as we all know, the geospatial value chain, that it actually starts from capturing to the finally presenting the layers. Now, these data sets that we capture and present can be taken into multiple solutions. It could be in terms of transportation, it could be in terms of forestry, agriculture, smart governances, and in fact, in the border security as well as in the in-house inland security as well. We have defined using these geospatial technologies to come up to a workflow or a very specific industry-specific workflows for police, fire. So some of the terminologies that you are very familiar, like say like dial 100, 112, or record management, or what we have, the jail management system. So these are something that we already do. And we have been developing this from Hyderabad for nearly about 40 years now, and we are selling it across the globe. And now it's a reality that we are getting into the Indian states to get the world-class system into place. We have now started to deploy some of the very critical utility solutions in terms of fiber, electric, gas. I would like to stress on fiber because fiber is different. It is not like the traditional point, line, and polygon. Fiber is a group of multiple lines going within a line, right? So it's very complex. So those kind of geometries is what we handle. And next is the critical infrastructure protection, like in terms of whether it is protecting an generation company, whether it is protecting lives of people through early warning dissemination system. This is what we're going to go through it. Have you heard about new terminology called geodesign? Getting architects to use GIS? That's what we are working on. So whenever we want to build a house, we actually go to an architect. He builds it on a piece of paper, which is not sitting on the GIS map, typically. So that's what we are trying to bring it through our digital reality solutions, where you design and retrofit the existing buildings with the new CAD drawings, putting onto the geospatial world. To do this, we have scanners, we have instruments, the rovers that can capture the information, just not above the ground, inside the buildings, as well as underground, that is using the ground penetrating radars. We have customized these ground penetrating radars as per the use. So it could be like something like the stream EM, which you can do it for the city. But if there is an industrial facilities, the old industrial facilities where we don't know where the pipeline is actually going on, so we have something as small as Opera Duo to actually help us out. These will produce outputs like the GIS map, which is highly accurate with -z value, And that's how you can correlate the above ground and the below ground data sets and help us to do different analysis. Using of drones, yes, we have been hearing it, and there are multiple applications to it. We have deployed this in a city within the state of Andhra Pradesh for the first time in 2017, where we try to automate the processes. So taking the images, processing them, by the time the output comes out, then again doing a change detection to see whether there was a new construction or there are different use cases, or in terms of policing, or interestingly is also we try to superimpose these video files on the geospatial maps, which can be used for the policing in terms of arresting the crimes. So any kind of data sets, whether it is from field data, whether from satellites, from drones, from LiDARs, we consume all these data sets. And we are also manufacturers of some of these instruments, but we consume all of these and try to make it into a centralized system and then harness this data. Let's look at some of the platforms which are very popularly known. Some of our products which are very popularly known are ADAS Imagine, that is textbook software for the image processing, and we are into photogrammetry and GIS. So we take all these different components and they process, harness the raw data and create the meaningful content, which can then be managed. And some of this is what I've been hearing from multiple speakers earlier, that how do I manage these huge files? How do I compress them, and how do I disseminate them into the systems? How do I do this, and how do I know all of this? Because I do myself within Hexagon, we produce our own content. We do understand. We do have our own production shops. So we do agree to all the troubles and problems that different organizations like Forest Survey of India, Geological Survey of India do face, and that's the production shops that we produce. We have harnessed these different technologies where we can produce outputs in different LOD formats, taking these data sets. Now, the biggest challenge is huge amount of data do come. I need to push this data or the imagery onto my cell phones on the field. So that's where we have patented some of our technologies called enhanced compression wavelets, which can compress the data, reduces the huge amount of space. If you see on the left side, you have that 71 TB of data is typically what it is produced for the whole of country of Japan, but I can compress it to 0.85 TB. And that can be moved. And then now I will move on to how these products have been brought in use in different states. So we have our own integration platform, which is called Exalt. We understand that geospatial is just not images or vector data sets, but it's also the IoT or the IT data combined with operational technologies, that is the SCADA data sets, also we need to get into it. So the Exalt platform takes in multiple data sets, whether it is from NMS system, BSS, OSS data, all of that can be combined and sent to either our systems or to the systems that are already present in your organizations. By getting all of these information, I present management dashboards to different stakeholders that will help us or the decision makers to take the right decisions on the time. Some of the geospatial powered solutions that we offer is the smart agriculture. You would see that there is a lot of data that is already available. I have my own platform where we are driving the machine automations. We do automations. We do have our own ground level sensors, which can level the surface of the agriculture land. That will help to increase the yield and also provide an agriculture marketplace so that the farmer and the buyers can actually interact with. When we build solutions, we take the end user in the core. So here we have taken the farmer as a core, and how the geospatial technology can help him, either in terms of insurance to increase the profitability or to increase the yield. So we build technologies all around it so that the farmer is benefited. It can also be in terms of flood damage assessment to see how much is the damage that has happened. The compensation that has to go to the farmers is what we also help through. Very interestingly, in the morning, we had a good discussion about the blue revolution or blue economy. We are driving some of the states to help them to improve the fish blockchain. And we can discuss this offline because of the given of the time. We are bringing artificial intelligence, machine learning in the forestry segment, wherein it's just not the plantation that we are doing. We have helped multiple states to do 22 crores, 33 crores plantation, but it's also we are monitoring through drones or through satellite images the health of the plantation that has happened. Policing is another very important and very crucial aspect. This is how we touch every person in the country. We have a complete record management system, which is helping the police and the real-time analysis, action insights that can be taken up. We have brought in the artificial intelligence into this, wherein based on the situation, based on the learnings that we have, we do combine all of that and dispatch the right people or the right officers to the people that are in need. We have added 3D capabilities into it. And this is an important or very interesting project that we would like to show that during the pandemic, we had deployed a woman safety solution, which is combining the data sets that are coming from the 112 or 1090 or multiple calls, combining with the CCTNS data sets, and then providing the right kind of inputs. We are now deploying CCTNS to multiple states, and that's how we are trying to bring geospatial analytics onto the table. The next, another important aspect is sometimes we need to do simulations. What if, to give answers, what if this happens, and how do I resolve it? So that's where we bring in our another patented product of MSC software, which can help us to do automation. And this is very clearly that what we are bringing in disaster management solutions, wherein we do as Hexagon directly monitor and we do help save lives during the flooding glacier movements. We directly are involved in multiple projects across the globe. And that's what we want to bring in India. We have manufactured our own systems that can monitor the glacier movements, the landslides, the rock falls, and in fact also the some kind of movements that do happen because of geological changes. All these sensors can help us to identify, give solutions based on warning, and also provide alerts. We are now putting in radars into action that will help us to identify the flood zoning and other subsidence. Subsidence is something that, sinking of soil, so that we are taking preventive measures before anything happens. Dam monitoring is something that we have been hearing since morning. Yes, we do have monitoring sensors. We build all of those data sets and come out to what is a command and control and create a typical monitoring sites. These are we have deployed this in the country, and we are happy to deploy more as we want. Then, as I talked earlier, simulation plays a very important role to see how, if at all, there is rain or water, or this is something that I've been getting calls from multiple states, that what if there is a heavy rains or a cloud burst? Where are the places where the dams, where do I keep my check dams? How much time do I have for evacuation? How many, what are my standard operating procedures to make sure that I save lives? So these are things that we do simulate and we bring in, and that's how we make out zoning to see where the people can be evacuated to the right places, and that's what we have deployed across the globe. This is the simple architecture where we integrate, and that is the core of Hexagon. We integrate with your existing systems as well as with your new protocols. Multiple solutions in terms of utilities, where we have deployed for fiber, for electric, gas in the country, and we do three-dimensional utility mapping as well. That will help us to do single line diagrams for the PWD, as well as it will give an overview of it. Smart cities, we are involved in smart cities. We have deployed in smart municipalities as well. We have clearly seen that use of geospatial technologies has brought 100% increase in taxation. And that's because of different taxations that the city has adopted. Multiple drone applications that have helped to identify who have violated their building permissions. So those are all automated. I will skip these slides just to have a glimpse of it, the different possibilities, how the solution can be brought in. In transportation, very importantly, whether it is maintaining the roads or working with the road safety 2.0 is what we are involved. And some of the solutions that we are proposing to the railways across the states or in the central, we have deployed from Hyderabad some of the prestigious projects which are integrating multiple systems. Oil and gas, we do have solutions. Given the time, I will not take you through anything. Many mines, as my president has already gone through, we have a complete mine cycle, right? And we are also helping some states for sand mining, right? So this is also another aspect that we can start to work towards. We have deployed nationwide, statewide, urban, and there are huge amount of opportunities that we can work together. And we strongly believe that working together, we'll progress together for a better world in the country. Thank you very much, and I would be happy to take any questions. I'm sorry I've taken up time. Thank you. I guess there will be somebody who will bring your mic.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah. Having worked for NHPC for some time,
Right.
we found at that time that there was no system to monitor
Right.
the seismic activity in and around the dams.
Right.
How do we do that now? And what is our degree of monitoring? What is our degree of predicting any seismic disaster? Prediction. I'm more interested in prediction rather than when it happens. Can you please elaborate?
Very good question, sir. We are not into predictions in terms of disaster management. I will be very open and candid with you. But yes, we do integrate with the seismic sensors that are not manufactured by me as well, right? I promote industries, so any industry who is having seismic sensors, we consume the data and we give analysis more towards if there is, if there is a seismic movement, there is a possibility of kind of a landslide, or it could be a rock roll. So we can do the prediction there, but not in terms of seismic. That's where we are not very good at. Okay. I'll be very open and candid.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Any other questions?
We do give displacement in addition to the radar he is talking about. So we do multiple sensors to see what's happening on the dam side, on the structure, as well as on the reservoir, as well as on the landslide. So we do deploy radars, we do deploy total stations, smart stations, as well as we take weather data, seismic data into one common software to give that this is what is coming. But we don't go and say that now you can take an action. We can give warning, alarm can come, but we sort of stay short of saying that no, this is where you should take an action, because that action ultimately happens at your end. Sensors, the water level records are also put. It's a complete solution. Water level recorders are also put. I'm not very sure. We put prisms all over the place to monitor, and multiple. The entire structure of the dam is covered by one or the other technology. Is there any possible existing gaps?
In India, you're saying?
Yes, all existing. Very much possible. We are putting on existing. The geotechnical sensors generally would go into the existing dam, and we provide geodetic And we depend on the companies which are putting geotechnical sensors which go into the structure which are already there. I think we don't do it, but those companies they do come and revamp it. But not we are not the experts on that piece, but we do monitor, bring into one common software, and then what he was describing, that from the Geomos is the software, from there you can put your command control and anything you'd like to do.
Thank you, Vinay sir, Pramod sir. With that, we come to the end of the second session of today's event. I would like to reiterate my thanks to all session speakers for sharing such brilliant insights into their work at the state level using geospatial technology. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, we are going to confer the AGI India Awards later today. However, one of our award winners has to leave immediately because of their flight, which is why we would be felicitating them now. I request AGI President Agendra sir to please come on stage and present the AGI India Award for Excellence in Governance to Maharashtra State Remote Sensing Center for the Mahabhumi project. We have with us Dr. Ashok Joshi, Director of MRSAC, who will be receiving this award. The Mahabhumi large-scale mapping project for the entire state of Maharashtra includes digital elevation model and orthomosaic generation along with mapping of various resources using Hexagon's ERDAS Imagine, Imagine photogrammetry, Windows-based high-end desktop hardware, DGPS, and other Hexagon products like Leica photogrammetry suite. All outputs are being shared with all state government departments and will further be published using Hexagon's Apollo software for government use, thus laying the foundation for the spatial data infrastructure and decision support system for the state of Maharashtra.